one choice. No pretense, no hidden schemes. Just sports, passion, fueling dreams. From the field to the court, every play that's made. Real takes over fake debates. Turn it up, hear the honest sound. Unfiltered sports all year round. Discussions pure, no masquerade. Real takes over fake debates. Turn it up. Over fake debates. Real takes over fake debates. Real takes over fake debates.
We are live. SBtalksports, Sean Webb, real takes over fake debates. It is Monday. How you doing, Sean?
Hanging in there, SB. How you doing, man?
Yeah, the allergies kicking Sean's butt right now. I'm cool, chilling, enjoy the holiday. I hope your holiday was well. I hope everybody who's watching holiday was well. Shout out Tiff is in the chat. Salute. Yeah, your Ravens do got life right now, Tiff. Yeah, King style, I left the band up. See, you got a sneak peek of a segment that we finna talk about. I'm mad. I'm looking on another screen and I see you. And I looked at the comments and said, oh, wait a minute. How do you know that? But as salute, we got a lot of things to talk about, guys. So make sure you guys like, make sure you guys share, make sure you guys subscribe. We got a lot of things to talk about NFL-wise because we getting closer to the NFL playoffs. A lot of teams eliminated. We getting close to the NBA trade window where a lot of players are being available for trades. So it's a good time. Tis the season of being a good sports fan. That's what I should say in the holiday spirit. Let me turn that off. Interrupted me. But we're gonna get into the NBA first. Then we're going to get into the NFL. First things first, Sean. Obviously, Giannis has something against my Chicago Bulls because he decided at the end of the game to do a ferocious windmill dunk, and the Chicago Bulls players did not appreciate that. After the game, Giannis pretty much said, we compete, and I don't pretty much care. It shouldn't be a problem. Nikola Vucevic was also quoted saying that I guess he was mad that the Bulls said they didn't want him. Is scoring at the end of the game when the game is over, is that a big of a deal? Is that like non-sportsman? Like, is it because players overreact to it? Like they finna fight, they're mad when players do it. And then also my second question was Giannis sending a message to the Chicago Bulls, like, how dare you say you don't want to trade for me? Because a lot of players don't want to play for the Chicago Bulls. And Giannis openly said he wanted to play for Chicago. I know why he wants to, because it's closer to Milwaukee. And he drive back home. I think Milwaukee like 3-4 hours from Chicago, really not that far. So I understand why he would want to go to Chicago because then he could probably still keep his house in Milwaukee. But how do you feel about that? Do you think is something wrong with scoring at the end of the games? And then also, did Giannis do that on purpose to send a message to the Bulls?
I think two things. One, it depends on the player. Some players come from a school of thinking that you don't do it. Some players don't care. I've always been one, I kind of want to, I'm act like you've been there before. Mm-hmm. That's not Giannis's first time doing a windmill dunk, I'm sure.
Oh, no.
So, but that's me. I was never one like to celebrate and all that other stuff. You've done this before. So that's me. But it's also a different school of thinking now, where it's like, okay, if you don't like that somebody does it, stop them.
Should have ran down and fouled him.
And also, I think the other part is that usually when you do something like that, you generally have to see that team again. Mm-hmm. And there may be some, residual from that. Maybe the next time you come down the lane, you get a hard foul, whatever. And if you did that, and I'm not trying to be nostalgic here, but if you did that in the 80s, and you did that against, Karl Malone or, someone like the Bill Laimbeer or somebody like that, the next time you saw their teams, you were going to get put on your ass. There's just no way around it. So, but it's a different age, different time today. And so, rather than the Bulls talk about it, be about it. Mm-hmm. And, so.
I'm happy he did that because I'm sorry watching this Chicago Bulls team. You know, it's my team. It's been very frustrating because at some moments we don't have no toughness. Some moments we don't like we have no soul. We don't look like we have no ambition. So this is the first time I actually really seen these guys get riled up. The only good spark from the Chicago Bulls, Sean, I know you probably paid attention to Chicago Bulls this year for good reasons, is Josh Giddey. And our bench has been outstanding. We got one of the best benches in the league. The Vooch is the main person talking, and outside of scoring 80% of the time, Vooch is useless.
Yeah.
But you want to be rowdy in a post game interview talking about he only mad because the Bulls wanted him, and they didn't say they didn't want him. If we wouldn't, you part of the problem because I guarantee if we get Giannis, we'll get rid of you. You'll be the first. You are the first trade smoking out of here because all you can do is score. But I guarantee Giannis will bring more to the table than you. So that's my thing that I'm happy Giannis did do that. Give the Bulls a wake up call because nobody gonna respect you if y'all don't respect yourself, and that's it. Y'all
and I would also
start at all.
And I would also say, just speaking about the Bulls, obviously, Vucevic has taken another step as well.
I forget about Bulls.
So,
I like Bulls.
So I would also point that out. Yeah,
I like Bulls. But speaking of another team that has maybe ties to Giannis or has the assets to get Giannis, OKC, who's the finna probably destroy the league in a second if the Clippers lose this lottery and they get the first pick in the draft and they get AJ or Boozer, which would be crazy. But excuse me, OKC might have a kryptonite, and it's the San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio has beat OKC 3 times. Now, I can't 100% say the Spurs are better than OKC, but you beat the team 3 times. That's telling me something. And also, I don't want like Spurs fans, if anybody from the Spurs, don't get overhyped. Because I remember a year, Sean, you should know this vividly. Mm-hmm. We swept the Miami Heat in the regular season at Chicago Bulls. Sean, what happened in the playoffs?
4-1.
It was ugly. So regular season ain't everything. But with that being said, does lose to the Spurs 3 times in a row cause concern and maybe share OKC, maybe get into the Giannis pool, or should you just thug it out this year?
I mean, you're the defending champs. I think there are a couple things to consider. Number one, the matchup is really leans toward the Spurs. But in particular, they have really a 4-5 guard rotation when you really think about it, of guys that they can really throw in, that can switch very well. And so I think that's the one thing. And obviously the X factor is as good as Chet, as decent as Holmgren are, they're not Wemby. And so, if I'm Oklahoma City, I'm not Sam Presti's way is not to be reactive. They're not reactive at all. I think the 2 things, if I'm OKC, I'm looking at number one, they don't turn the Spurs over. They are generally a team that forces a lot of turnovers against team, which allows them to get out, which is what makes them, more dangerous, obviously. And then the second thing is, to me, San Antonio, because they're not turning the ball over, they're able to really kind of control the pace, really well, in these 3 matchups. I really hope we get to see these teams in the playoffs matchup.
I hope so too.
I think the NBA, not that the NBA should get involved, but if the NBA wants to fix something, fix it. So those 2 teams have to match up in the playoffs, in a playoff series this year, and not just this year, for years to come, because that I think that's the future right there.
Yep.
Right, the future's right before us. Obviously, don't want to disrespect Denver or Houston, who I think both could come out of the West well, albeit we'll see. But OKC should not panic. The idea of coaching is figure out why they have an advantage against us, and figure out how to counter that. And that's the back and forth of coaching. One of the back and forth of coaching is figure it out. Notice when they've lost, their coach has not gotten on camera, crying and complaining and throwing his team under the bus, you know. So
like a certain coach with purple and gold.
You know, so at the end of the day, I think, you know, the job is when you match up with them again, figure out, you know, what the matchup is and how to, you know, take advantage of something that the Spurs may not necessarily do well. But I will say the Spurs, you know, just with their depth, with their switchability, they're just a tough matchup. And again, the big thing to me, OKC's not been able to turn them over in these 3 games, and that's been the difference.
Okay, Sean, I'm glad. Another thing you said too was that things the NBA need to look into. I think they need to change that award for how many games you play to get an award type stuff. Because I know why the owners like it, because the owners don't have to pay that. Because when you get certain awards, the owners got to pay you more money. I think that rule needs to change. Because I think Wemby already missed too many games already now to possibly get, or he got to play the rest of the season out. Because I think it's 65 games.
65 games. Yeah, I would have to look. I think he was close. I think he's only a few games away. But,
just because then what if you want to rest your guys for the? I think they need to change that rule. But for me, I think though, OKC shouldn't like overreact, make a move. You're perfectly fine, and you still got players that are supposed to be on this roster, and he that's not even touched the team yet. The Jokic kid, I think I said his last name right because I know he's dealing with the cancer battle. He's back on the court. You finna get a top pick in the draft, so you literally got everything you need. And I just think had a mindset of like the Miami Heat had, the Bulls swept them that season, didn't make a difference in the playoffs. You know, because it's different playing in the regular season than in the playoffs, and the Spurs don't have that. The Spurs don't have that experience yet. He said the Spurs, go James, salute, go James. He said the Spurs are kind of shocked in my opinion. Just didn't think they would be this good this fast. The young guys, Wemby plus the addition of Fox probably have put them over. Yeah, the crazy part about this though, go James, is when Harper and Castle get it and lock in, they're gonna be able to trade De'Aaron Fox and add some. Because De'Aaron Fox is not their long-term asset point guard. I don't care what nobody say. I'm already seeing Harper and Castle as the guy over Fox, Sean. If I'm overreacting to it, I'm sorry. I just think there are better options. I think De'Aaron Fox is just there to hold the spot down till they get their experience and they hone into their game, and then you send De'Aaron Fox on his way.
And can I say something real quick just to add to that? Just to add to a piece of that? The big key to me is a guy like Keldon Johnson. Like you think about what Keldon Johnson was 3-4 years ago. He was averaging 22 points a game. He was kind of the guy they were like, oh, they got a potential, guy here. And the organization said, hey, we got the first pick in the draft. We've got, we got Wemby. We got this fourth pick in the draft. We got Stephon Castle. Have you heard him complain about his role or the fact that they've gone away from him and they asking him to come off the bench, which he helps really buoy their bench quite a bit. So to me, I think the big issue and the big thing for them is that those guys all buy in. And they got a young coach who, got great experience under Pop, got great experience last year when he had to fill in for Pop when Pop was out, obviously, after, having the stroke. And so they're a team, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. And they still have more assets to continue to build and fill out their team. I just think they got a really good balance of vet and young guys.
Yes.
And again, in a playoff series, this particular group has not been through the playoffs yet. So obviously I would probably give a team like Denver or Houston, obviously Oklahoma City, the advantage there. But the Spurs are not going anywhere anytime soon. And as long as they're healthy, and again, the key with them is health and particularly the health of Wemby, they're going to be a problem.
Kingstown said, think about it. This resting screws over averages. The Bulls used to attempt to blow teams out so they can rest in the second half. Now players take off game to preserve their average. Yeah. But I also think Kingstown that the only problem that dudes come from this, when you do try to blow people out and never play, when the playoffs come, you're not going to be used to playing in tight games because you're so used to blowing people out. And that sometimes do come back to bite you. I think it did with the Warriors too. That 1 year, I think the 73-9 year, that's because you see they almost lost 2 times in the series. He said Fast Castle is really good. Harper is also special. He said, what do you think about Wemby off the bench thing? It won't for me. It won't last for long. It's just a minute restriction thing. Just bring him along. So for me, but it won't last long.
And they started the other night. So I think it was just literally just them trying to, manage him coming back, from the injury. That's all.
Yeah, that's all I think too. Now, Sean, we got some trade deadline madness. Honestly, Sean, I think this year is going to be one of the wildest trade deadlines because I don't know why I went off the story. It did not pop up. I can look at my phone because you sent it to me. But long story short, the Hawks are just literally openly saying they're getting rid of Trae Young. It says the report is from Tim McMahon. All signs point to Atlanta moving on from Trae Young ahead of February 5th trade deadline, with the team indicating that they're looking for an exit ramp from the Hawks point guard. To say I want to get an exit ramp from you, that's dead. They say they're really trying to get rid of you. I think the Hawks kind of got lucky with Double J. Was it Jalen Johnson? And they got like a replacement guy. They got lucky. Because remember, that guy, what team was he on before then? But I know he wasn't in the rotation. Let me see, Jalen Johnson. He wasn't in the rotation on the other team. And so he came to the Hawks and they got lucky.
Well, no, you're talking about Dyson Daniels. That's Dyson Daniels. No, Jalen Johnson was drafted by the Hawks.
He was drafted. Okay, I'm thinking of the other player. Yeah, you are right. He was drafted by the Hawks. But yeah, Dyson Daniels was the other guy. But yes, they got lucky with this kid that he's actually honed into a star where you can actually build around, pretty much almost averaging a triple-double. So with that being said, with Trae Young on the trade block and they pretty much getting rid of him, let's play a game, Sean, called Likely to Be Traded. I got a list of players who are on the hot seat of being traded, or it's been rumored, or they got something going on with their team. Let's talk about it. If you got destinations for them, you can't say. If you don't, it don't matter. It's cool. Likely to be traded, since we already talked about the guy. Trae Young.
Very, very likely to be traded. I would think the team that would probably be making the biggest push to get him would be Milwaukee. Milwaukee just doesn't have a lot of assets
for him.
And so they would really have to probably give up everything, save for Giannis, to get Trae Young. The issue with them doing that is it wouldn't be all dissimilar to them what they did to get Dame. And I would question whether or not they would want to try to repeat that. But obviously, again, getting Trae Young really is to keep Giannis happy long term, hopefully. So in their minds. So I would say very, very likely. And I would say Milwaukee would be the first team I would think about.
I hope he don't go to Milwaukee, because Milwaukee got to realize that style of guard does not work with Giannis. If you need a ball in your hand, that type of guard, it won't work with Giannis. It won't. He needs a Drew Holiday type of guy. Giannis with the ball in his hand. He said Hawks reported they were moving Zach too. Oh, wow. Yeah, the Hawks trying to clean house.
Yeah. He stinks. So, I'm not going to say he stinks. He just has not been very good.
He hasn't lived up to expectations. If I look at the standings, if I had to just, I do 100% agree. It's highly likely that Trae Young will be traded. They pretty much openly said they're trying to trade Trae Young. I don't think the Hawks would trade him to the East, unless
I don't think they want to. But I think what they're going to do is, again, their big thing is Trae Young can be a free agent after this season, and they don't want to lose him for nothing. And you're going to have about 10 teams that are going to have the cap space to sign him potentially. So, I think their thing is we just don't want to lose him for nothing. So again, yeah.
Do you think the Rockets got enough to get him?
No.
Okay. No. That's the team that could get him.
And if I'm not the Rockets, I'm not trying to get that level of player or point guard. I just want a solid point guard.
Okay.
Not necessarily trying to get trade, because again, if you're trading for Trae Young, it means salary wise you're gonna have to move Jabari Smith, or you know what I mean. And I don't think they want to do that at all. I think they like their core as it is. If they can get a cheaper point guard or a less expensive point guard until they get Van Vliet back, that's what they'll try to do.
All right. My second one suggestion, but I don't know if Anthony Davis would be happy going there, but what about the Mavericks?
Again, I think it would require Kyrie to be a part of that deal.
Okay.
Just to make the money work. And if in Atlanta, to me, that's a lateral if you're Atlanta.
You pretty much do the same thing, yeah.
Pretty much on the same thing. And I think they really want to go ahead and go younger, which is part of why they're doing it. And so maybe there's a 3-team deal where they could, send Trae Young to Dallas, and Dallas could send Kyrie elsewhere. And then Kyrie, their third team will send assets to Atlanta. But yeah, maybe.
Now, this team has not been living up to expectations, and I always said I didn't really like the backcourt between him and Donovan Mitchell. Likely to be traded, Darius Garland.
I'm going to say not likely. I think they want to see this team in a playoff series healthy before they make that move. Now, again, I think if they fall short this year in the playoffs, meaning they don't
AC right now, Sean.
They're AC right now. But again, it's December. The A seed in December means nothing, just as much as the second seed in December means nothing. We see teams, drop and move up and down, over the last few months of the season. Their big thing is they just want to get in the dance. They feel like, I think if they're healthy, they match up well with a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Their big problem is they always have somebody hurt during the playoffs. So I think if they fall short in the playoffs again, and meaning if they don't at least get to the conference finals, I think then, they'll look at making a move in the offseason. But, he's a homegrown talent. When he's been on the floor, I don't know if you watched the game on Christmas Day, to me, the big thing with them is, can they figure out a way to better stagger the minutes with him and Donovan Mitchell? Yeah. Because both of them need the ball, but also when one of them's off the floor, the other one should be on the floor. They should never be off the floor at the same time, unless it's a blowout game, of course. But, I'm not trading him at all. Not during the season. Now, during the off season, again, different conversation, but I'm not trading him during the season.
Yeah. I'm going to have to agree with not likely to be traded, because Go Jay hit right on the head. I don't think they'll get the point guard that they need in return for him. It's not the best package I at this point in time. Do I think they should trade him? Yes. I don't think that backcourt works together. It doesn't. They both too small, and they both need the ball in their hand. So no. Lonzo Ball, that's why I thought like the Lonzo Ball signing was good. Obviously, it has not worked out, because I would have thought like if Lonzo worked out with the first unit, you could throw Darius Garland on the bench and be like, hey, look, you can play your style how you want to play, but let Lonzo start. But no. Most likely to likely to be traded. This player is a 6 Man of the Year candidate, but now it's currently out of the team's rotation. Malik Monk.
I think it's very likely he gets traded. If you're a team that's struggling with bench scoring, certainly I think Malik Monk would make a lot of sense.
Yes,
for you. Obviously, there's some things you have to be okay with in terms of him not necessarily being very good defensively. But I think, again, it's all about you just saying, hey, we need scoring off of our bench badly. And he provides that. And again, I'm looking at Malik Monk like I look at Jordan Clarkson in New York. Jordan Clarkson has been a great value add to the Knicks because he really, again, buoys their benches, their second unit scoring. So that's what Malik Monk, I think, would bring to a team. What team that is, I'm not going to say, but I think, he's very likely to be traded.
I'd say the team I think that should trade for him, because they need a smart, probably like the Warriors or something, like a team that's like struggling. I think like him off the bench for the Warriors would be nice. And I don't think they got like the ones and twos to get him, but I'll say the Warriors. See, they're out of the rotation. He played some last night, probably due to, yep, that's why. Or they're trying to put him out there like, hey, teams, you want Malik Monk? But yeah, I think like if you're a contender team that just need a spark off the bench, or your team is like dull, I'll say go get Malik Monk.
And you mentioned the Warriors. Remember the Warriors during the offseason, one of the teams that contacted them about Jonathan Kuminga was the Sacramento Kings. They were trying to do a package around Malik Monk, and the Warriors were not interested. So could they revisit that? Possibly. But, that remains to be seen.
Okay, next up, a big heavy hitter on the list. I thought about it. I should have put his name on here when I did this. Because I would say maybe they might go back to it and try to add the Sabonis to that. And maybe Sabonis, Malik Monk, I don't know how they're going to put it all together, but they might try to do something like that. Because I think the Warriors, what's crazy about the Warriors is that they don't show no value to Jonathan Kuminga until it's time to talk for trades. When it's time to trade him, he the best thing smoking. But they don't do nothing with him when he's on the court. They don't even try to play it off at all. Like Steve Kerr, rush some sets for him. Y'all already in the middle of the pack anyway. Try to get Jonathan Kuminga get 20 points in a game, 20 times in a, you know what I'm saying, 10 games or 20 points or something. Put him out there. Next up, likely to be traded, Anthony Davis.
I think it's very likely.
Okay. You think their experiment is over?
I think it's very likely. Yeah, I just think that again, him getting hurt yet again on Christmas Day, which is kind of like
the same old thing. It's like
you
knew it.
Yeah, it's like again, like, are we surprised? Now,
No.
Again, this one's not very serious, but I do think they are very much interested in moving him. Now, they seem to want a combination of young players, picks, and expiring contracts. I don't think they're going to get all three in an Anthony Davis trade. No. I think they'll get 2 out of 3, but I don't think they're going to get all 3 out of an Anthony Davis trade because, again, the team that acquires Anthony Davis is going to have to talk about an extension with him during the offseason. And you're talking about an extension that could go into the upwards of $70 million a season in that last season. So if I'm a team and I'm acquiring Anthony Davis and I'm knowing that's going to have to be part of the conversation, I'm not giving you everything you want for Anthony Davis. So I do think there, a couple teams out there that will obviously kick the tires, but I think it's likely just because the Mavs, I think, want to move on.
And Sean, you put it right on the head right there. You said the 2 reasons why he's not going to get traded. It's not like he's going to get traded. 1, because of the injury-prone history. 2, you got to give him an extension. A lot of people probably don't want to pay Anthony Davis to give him an extension, and he's injury-prone. And the 3rd reason why is you traded Luka Doncic for him. So now you got to try your best to get whatever – you get the best trade you can get. And I don't think the Mavericks want to deal with that fire of what you get in return, because now it's going to be like we traded Luka for this person or something like that, because Anthony Davis valued at all-time low. So I don't think he's going to get traded because of that. Well,
you mentioned the fire. The good thing right now is the Mavs have the hose to take care of it, and the hose is named Cooper Flag.
Luckily, he gave them Cooper Flag.
So any trade they make for Anthony Davis, I think mostly reasonably understand they're just trying to go ahead and reset and retool around Cooper Flag. Again, I think Klay Thompson is going to be likely, moving as well.
Free Klay.
So Kyrie, I don't think they're going to touch Kyrie. I think they do want Kyrie to be there with Cooper, but I do believe that if they can move AD before the trade deadline, they absolutely will.
Next up, likely to be traded, Giannis this season. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Not being traded this season. Not getting traded this season.
Yeah, I could say I have to agree. We could keep this simple math. No, I don't think he's getting traded this season because the package you got to put together for Giannis, it's going to take an off season to do that. I think Giannis is going to thug out this season because Milwaukee don't want to trade Giannis at all. Right. At all. Last but not least on the list, his coach has been talking crazy in the media. He didn't actually name drop this player, which I was shocked to do that. Somebody help you get a job. You become supervisor, you can call your boy out. It's crazy. Likely to be traded. Will LeBron drop his no trade clause? Because the Lakers want to move LeBron. They just can't move him. Likely to be traded. LeBron James.
Not likely to be traded.
Yeah, I don't think he's dropping his no trade clause.
And
go ahead.
And it's because of one name and one name only. Rich Paul.
Yep.
Not happening.
I don't think LeBron gonna drop his no trade clause. What I do think is gonna happen though is a team is struggling, as we just talked about earlier. He'll fill a void very nice for that team, and he's gonna retire with that team next year and possibly have them contending. It would have been better to do it this season because the East is actually wide open, but the East gonna be back jam packed. I think LeBron James is gonna go to Cleveland for a very team-friendly deal.
A swan song.
A swan song and thug it out and try to go for one more push in Cleveland. Because he's not leaving. He don't want to leave LA. Because you know why he don't want to leave LA, Sean? That's why I know he's not gonna ask for a trade because Savannah ain't going. They're only in LA because Savannah want to be there. But for that one last hurrah, you'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to the crib. She'll probably let him go back to the crib.
Yeah, and if you're the Cavs, you're not trading for LeBron James. So
you can just sign him next season.
You just wait until he's a free agent and sign him and add him to your core and say, okay, listen, for this season, we're pushing all our chips in with this core. And, I've been on the 23 for 23. Part of me hopes this is LeBron's last season, just because, I don't want to see him not be decent. But, if at the end of the day, we'll see what happens.
Reed Dion said, if a player drops his no trade clause, that will hurt players in the future. No, it won't. It's just, that's your right. That's what it comes with the trade clause. If you're ready to go, hey, they trade me. And then you actually, when you with the no trade clause, you get to pick where you go. It's not like he is like LeBron say, I'm dropping my no trade clause. They can just go send him to Memphis. No, LeBron can say, hey, I'm only will drop my no trade clause if you trade me to New York or Cleveland. Yeah, so no, it wouldn't hurt. That's the whole point of the no trade clause.
Yeah, and it's collectively bargained, for there to be a no for players at that level, 10 years, 5 years with the same team, to have, no trade clause be a part of the negotiation for their deals. So it's not going to hurt the players at all.
Yes, I don't think LeBron don't want to leave LA. He got too much business going on out there. He said, well, Bronny will be on the Cavs, and then he going to retire when his dad retires. Same storybook ending. Like you said, the swan song. But no, I do not see LeBron James getting traded. He's not dropping his no trade clause. But if he didn't have, I'm telling y'all right now, if LeBron James did not have a no trade clause, the Lakers would have been trying to move him. It would have been really hot conversation because the Lakers want to get rid of him. Now, Sean, we got to get into some NFL. Make sure you guys like, make sure you guys share, make sure you guys subscribe. He said it was crazy, Bradley Beal. Hey, look, it's about location and places. Hey, Bradley Beal with the Wizards, he was that deal.
Yeah, he was there. He was there 10 years. That was a part of the deal that he could sign. That's your power. For as much money as Bradley Beal has made, the most powerful thing he did, and many players do at that level, is get a no trade clause.
Yep. If you get a no trade clause, I swear you should get it every time. If you get a no trade clause. Now, shall we gotta get into some NFL? We getting close to the end of the season. One more week. And one thing that I do love that the NFL did get right was putting the divisional games at the end of the season. Because now we have 2 games, week 18, that will defy if you get in the playoffs and win your division. So I want to know who you got winning and who got a better chance in the playoffs. First up on the list, better chance in the playoffs and will win week 18. Because the Steelers sold their last game. We know why they sold their last game, because they were so thirsty against Myles Garrett. Now your foot is going to be in the fire. Better chance at the playoffs, the Steelers or the Ravens, and then who you got winning. And Lamar Jackson is questionable for this game, but I think he's going to play.
Better chance at the playoffs, the Ravens.
Okay.
Better chance at the playoffs, the Ravens, because they have one thing on the offensive side of the ball that they can lean on, and that's number 22. And if you can run the ball in the playoffs, you can win playoff games. Because 1, obviously, you're controlling time possession. And 2, you're keeping your defense, fresh on the sidelines because you're controlling time possession. So when they are in the game, they're able to, wreak a little havoc. So I'm saying better chance in the playoffs is the Ravens because of 22.
Well, and I think Tiff watched the show. She is a big Ravens girl. I think she could attest to this, Sean. And I'll tell me if I'm wrong for feeling this way. Is it a little disappointing, or have they not been disappointing, the Ravens run game? Because when they signed Derrick Henry and with Lamar Jackson, I thought it was going to be like the best running team like in the league for a while. Am I wrong for feeling disappointed about it? Because I thought it would have been better.
I mean, they were good last year. This year it hasn't been the same, but they were good last year. Lamar.
I thought they was going to be unstoppable, though.
Last season they basically were. It's just this season it hasn't panned out that way for different reasons. But last season, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then for the question, I have to say, Sean, I think DK should be back, but even
for the playoffs,
yeah, if they make it. But even the injured Lamar Jackson, these Baltimore Ravens, I'm sorry, I got the Baltimore Ravens winning, and I got the Baltimore Ravens as the better team in the playoffs. At the end of the day, I just see Baltimore being all around better team, and they got the experience. The Steelers are fool's gold, and they on their way to 9-8 like they always do. I don't understand how they keep doing this every year, but they always find a way to win them 9 games, Sean. I'm gonna have to go with the. I think I like the Ravens all around. Because the only thing really holding the Ravens back was like Lamar being injured, and honestly, even if Lamar don't play, I think Snoop can beat them. I think Snoop and Derrick Henry control the ball. I think I can see them still winning without.
I mean, Snoop Huntley plays really well.
Yes.
Like, it's not that he can't play. He's actually, in many ways, I think he's the perfect backup for Lamar Jackson because he can do some of the things, not everything that Lamar can do, but some of the things that Lamar can do. The only thing he doesn't do that Lamar does, he doesn't push the ball down the field the way Lamar can. But he can run your offense. He's accurate. He can move when he needs to. He's not going to make critical mistakes. They can win games with Snoop Huntley. Absolutely.
T.Y., I didn't duck your call, man. I was watching football. I didn't duck your call. I told him his Eagles was going to lose and just to mess with him, and then they ended up winning, so he blew my phone up. Better chance in the playoffs. Another division on the line next week. The Panthers or the Buccaneers, and who will win?
Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers.
Y'all know I've been high on the Buccaneers, and I'm behind on Big Baker. I got the Panthers winning. And the better question is this week 18 game in Carolina?
This in Tampa.
Ooh, that might make a difference.
It might, but if you watch the Bucs the last 2 months, it has not.
Not look good.
It hasn't mattered.
No, it hasn't. But for me, I had to pick the Panthers, and I also think the Panthers have a better chance in the playoffs because no matter that they got a lower record, they are division winners. Division winners automatically get a home spot. Also, Sean, quick question. Do you think they need to change the rule on that, or should it keep it as division winners? Or should it go by record?
I think in my opinion, I think it should go by record, but I think the division winner should be guaranteed a playoff spot. But I think it should go by record.
Okay, I got the Panthers. I think the Panthers are dangerous at home. And if the Panthers was just saying how the playoffs are set today, if the Panthers was to make the playoffs, they would have to play the 49ers at home. And I wouldn't be shocked if they beat the 49ers. I wouldn't be shocked at all. Now, sir, we got to look at the opposite side. We got the disappointment side,
to be clear, they had to play as of today, but the 49ers Seahawks game could determine the number 1 seed in the NFC. So, because since the Bears lost, so that game will basically tell you who's going to be the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Seahawks better not fail that number 1 seed because playing in Seattle was going to be tough for anybody. I think that I told you before, Sean, if the Seahawks get the number 1 seed, they'll be the most dangerous team in the playoffs because it's hard to win in Seattle. Now, let's look at the opposite side because we got teams that are already eliminated. Bigger disappointment, the Chiefs not making the playoffs or the Colts choking away their season.
The Colts.
Okay. Injuries did play a part in it, to be fair.
They did, but they started out 7-1.
If it's the season 1-7, it's crazy. And they said Sauce Gardner went to the Colts 1-7, and then go to the Colts and finish the season 1-7. It's crazy. He might be bad luck. They should just kept it alone, man. Sauce is bad luck, boy.
Change his name from sauce to mayonnaise because it's not good. Because it's not good.
Worcester sauce, Worcestershire, like one of them type of sauces.
But no, I think it's the Colts easily. Obviously, the injuries played a factor. I'm not going to take away from the injuries. But obviously, Daniel Jones wasn't playing well before he got hurt. He started to play like Daniel Jones. And so they were losing some games that they probably should have won. But at the end of the day, it's the Colts. I think the Chiefs are the Warriors. All the late postseason runs over the last several years just caught up to them. And this is their year that they got to reset and recalibrate the Colts easily by far the bigger disappointment.
Hey, go, Jay. This is part of the segment that we do show like a real takeover reaction. He asks if Bryce wins it all this season, which he ain't, but he has been playing well. The Panthers is the one team I probably say y'all won't. But I mean, it's open. Anything can happen. It's open. He said, "Is he over Cam Newton all time as a Panther?" Age to the no. You got to do more. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Like Cam Newton, peak Cam Newton was different. You got to do a little bit more. A ring, or just winning one ring ain't gonna put you over Cam Newton. But it'll make it a conversation, but I would say no. What about you, Sean?
I'd say no. I mean, Cam was an MVP. And we know what all-time Cam Newton was in Carolina. Like Bryce got to put in some more work before we can have that conversation.
That's like if we said like, is Josh Giddey over Derrick Rose all time if he won a championship? They're like Josh Giddey didn't really do too much. He just won a championship. But Pete Cam was different. If you didn't get to see Pete Cam Newton play live, you missed out on something special because that was crazy. Do you think the guy from, I don't know his name exactly, so they were just talking about this kid. The guy from Indiana, that 6'5" quarterback, do you think he's gonna be in that Cam Newton range, or he gonna be another Tim Tebow?
Come on, Fernando Mendoza.
Mendoza, there you go, yeah.
No, he's a way better pocket passer than Tim Tebow ever was.
So he could potentially be like a Cam Newton good, maybe?
I mean, I think it's going to depend on where he ends up going.
He's going to the Raiders.
I think he'll be a top 3 pick. So, we'll see. But again, it's not even about his talent. It's about the infrastructure they build around him. And obviously they got Genty, they got, Brock Bowers. That's a good place to start. But the best place to start is those 5 guys up front. And
I don't wish nobody downfall, but if he goes to the Raiders, I hope he a bust.
Yeah, but he can't block for himself. So
no, he can't. Tim Tebow, that's what I hope he is. I hope he's Tim Tebow. Next up, bigger disappointment or missing playoffs. The Commanders, who came off the NFC Championship game, or the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm gonna say the Commanders because they were coming off the NFC Championship game. I thought the Falcons would be right there in the hunt in the NFC South. And actually, technically, they still are, even though they've been eliminated for the playoffs.
Right. That division was trash.
But division was not good. Obviously, losing Penix when they didn't help. So I think it's going to be an interesting year off season in Atlanta. They're talking about bringing Matt Ryan into the front office potentially for a major role. What that will look like, who knows how that will shake up the front office, with Terry Fontenot as GM and obviously Raheem Morris as the head coach remains to be seen. But I would say the Commanders, just because they went to the NFC Championship game. I thought they were a playoff team. I didn't think they were going to get back to the NFC Championship game, but I think they are the bigger disappointment given some of the moves they made this offseason.
I have to agree with you with the Commanders because they only went 4 wins. It's crazy. And they added more pieces to the team to be better from the last offseason. So that's why I have to pick them. The Falcons, they 6 wins is not as bad as it looked because of how bad their division is. Like, really right now, the Panthers finna get in and they only got finna be 9 wins if they win. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, that'll be the difference for me. So that's why I'm picking the Commanders because how far they made it last season. That bigger disappointment, Sean. The Raiders. I know your answer to this one because if the Raiders or the Bengals, if you don't believe me how I know Sean answered to this one, I'll show you why Sean answered with this one. Where's the Raiders at? Right there. Raiders right there. Right there. Number 2. The Raiders. Bigger disappointment, Sean. The Raiders or the Bengals?
Oh, the Raiders, easily. And after the first week of the season, when they went up to New England and beat the Patriots, it was like, okay, maybe the Raiders will be a decent team. And no, the Bengals, I had no expectation for the Bengals because I knew they have a defense. And then obviously, that to me was their biggest issue. They just don't have a defense. Their defense has played well in spots, but they just don't have a defense. And so I didn't have high expectation for the Bengals. I had them finishing 3rd in the division, which is where they're going to finish. So I don't consider them a disappointment. I consider them to be exactly right where, we predicted them to finish. The Raiders, I just thought with the addition of Pete Carroll, Geno, getting, Ashton Genty, if they could just play a decent amount of defense, but the Chip Kelly situation, the offensive line, not having any real receivers, giving away your one receiver to the Jaguars, it's easily the Raiders, but they can figure it out. They can figure it out if they can, do something with this top pick they're going to likely have and add some talent. But they do not have a lot of talent. Watching them yesterday, it was atrocious. Watching them yesterday,
I'm enjoying every second of the battle.
I know you are.
Before I say what I was saying, let me make sure I see where I put the Bengals at. Oh, so okay. I'm gonna say the Bengals because I did have them finish second, but the problem is, only I'm really picking the Bengals. I really want to say this, Sean. I told you so. I told you the Raiders is gonna be trash. The Raiders are garbage. It's always F the Raiders. I'm not disappointed. It's something I told you was gonna happen, Sean. Last of the division, they wasn't gonna be good. I told you, Pete Carroll, them old schemes he tried to do the Seattle days, trash. What go work? Geno Smith is the reason why they let you go. Trash. Ashton Genty, you cool. Brock Bowers, you cool. Max Crosby, you cool. Everything about their defense else is trash. Nothing impressive about this team. I told you. The Raiders will always do what the Raiders do. Find a way to choke and get people to go into everybody else's stadium wearing all black with their butt painted silver and leave out crying because they lose all the time. Trash. Stop falling for the trap. They are the West Coast Dallas Cowboys. A bunch of rah-rah and nothing to show for it. That's it. Trash.
Well, I can't say they're the West Coast Dallas Cowboys because at least they've been to the Super Bowl during this century. So,
but trash still.
Yeah.
Last one. Bigger disappointment. The Lions or the Vikings?
I'm going to say the Lions. I didn't have high expectations for the Vikings. I had the Vikings finishing fourth in the division, even though I thought it'd be, and it ended up being a very tight division.
Yeah, you did.
In the NFC North. But I thought the Lions were a playoff team this season. I thought the Bears could potentially slip into the wild card. Obviously, the Bears overachieved, but I'm going to say the Lions just because I didn't realize, and I don't think many people really truly value the loss of Ben Johnson in particular. Also Aaron Glenn to their defense, but Ben Johnson in particular to their offense. Their offense is obviously not the same. Dan Campbell's got some work to do in the offseason to get an offensive coordinator in. And they got also retool, I think, their offensive line. One of the biggest losses they had was in the interior of their offensive line, Frank Ragnow. They had a young guy playing. He plays solid, but again, that team was built in the trenches up front, and they're not the same team up front. So, but even with that, we thought the Lions would still be right there in the NFC conversation. So I'm going to say the Lions just because of expectations. I never believed in J.J. McCarthy. I still don't believe in J.J. McCarthy. I'm not sure I will ever believe in J.J. McCarthy. So it's the Lions.
That is so garbage. Hey, shout out Go James. I don't know, man. Me and him on the same. It's like two topics in a row. Me and him on the same way, leak a little bit. Sean, I will actually have to disagree with you. I think the bigger disappointment is in the Vikings. With the Lions, I knew they was going to take a step back. You lose your offensive and defensive coordinator. You expect it to look a little bit different. And it's going to take time for my dog over there snoring. It's take time for the defense and offense to get it together from the new offensive defensive coordinator. The reason why the Vikings is a bigger disappointment for me, you hit it right on the head. Why did you believe in J.J. McCarthy? You could have easily added anybody else to this team just in case he didn't work out. No, you were just so hung high. J.J. this, 9 that. How you got Justin Jefferson and you can't do nothing? Justin Jefferson got 2 quarterbacks paid. This is Randy Moss Oakland Raiders. Legitimately, Randy Moss Oakland Raiders. Like, how can you not do nothing with Justin Jefferson? Nothing. And it's no excuse to be like, oh, this changed. Literally, you got this. Sam Darnold was almost an MVP candidate last season. He played good at the Seahawks too, by the way. The bigger disappointment is the Vikings for one, believing in J.J. McCarthy. And for you to have the cojones to just be like, JJ is 100% our guy, and I know they didn't see none. It's just somebody who made a decision, and they trying to make their decision seem right so bad it cost the team a legit chance. Because the Vikings should not be this bad. They were atrocious, and the main problem with them being atrocious was JJ McCarthy. Injury bug, Sean. I don't really, besides what's a big injury coming into week 18? I think everybody's already pretty much good.
Yeah, I mean, the question mark obviously about Lamar. Lamar's questionable going into week 18 and a must-win for the Ravens. Obviously,
McMillan might be out next week.
Ted McMillan.
Yeah. Not Ted. His name started with the T. I don't know how to say his name. The Panthers wide receiver.
Ted Aroa.
Ted Aroa. Yeah, I didn't want to say it. I'll butcher your name in a heartbeat. But yeah, Ted Aroa, he'll say he might be out too. But I think he's gonna play. I think it just says it's an illness. But that'll be my injury bug for me, Ted Aroa.
Okay.
Now, Sean, what you learned watching week 17? I learned something too. A lot.
I'll tell you the two things I learned. There's not a team in the NFC that I will say is an automatic Super Bowl favorite.
I can agree with that.
Everybody's going crazy about the Chicago-San Francisco game last night, and it was an offensive shootout.
It was a good game.
Chicago's defense is not Super Bowl caliber. The reason why Chicago's defense looked better than they were was because of all the turnovers they were forcing. But they had the interception. The first play of the game was an interception return for a touchdown on Brock Purdy. What else did they do the rest of the night?
Nothing.
Yeah. So that's not a Super Bowl caliber defense. The Niners, obviously, they got a lot of guys in and out, but there's not a team in the NFC I say that's an automatic Super Bowl team right there. In the AFC, what I learned is none of these AFC teams that everybody's talking about want to see the Houston Texans in a playoff game.
No.
You do not want to see the Houston Texans in a playoff game. That defense is real.
Legit.
Real. And it's early, and I'm not going to make a Super Bowl prediction today, but it would not shock me if the Houston Texans are representing the AFC in the Super Bowl in Santa Clara. It would not shock me at all.
I wouldn't be shocked either. Because I'm glad you ended off on that because I got to talk about my Chargers. But first point before I talk about Chargers, what I learned is the Texans is a real deal Holyfield, and they are legit. Their defense is a problem. 2, can somebody help Justin Herbert, Sean? It's just like this man is legitimately just out there but like it's like he do everything to put us in position to win. If honestly the Chargers had a better record, I think he would get the MVP for whatever he's dealing with over there. We lost this game, Sean, by 4 points, right? Our kicker missed almost Dicker the kicker, who's a Pro Bowl kicker, missed like 3 kicks, Sean. I couldn't believe it. Like, bro, we literally lost the game for that. Justin Herbert did everything he could against that Texas defense. And we looked at bad. And I'm gonna be honest. I don't really believe in my Chargers. I don't. Justin Herbert gonna have to put up Cam Newton Superman numbers for us to win. And he don't do that, we losing. And it creates my bad. We still might lose. Because he did everything he could. We lost the game because of the kicker. Oh my gosh. I had a headache watching that game. What else did I learn? I learned that the Steelers, I finally found the legit problem with the Steelers that they put their ego in front of the W because they were so worried about Myles Garrett not sacking Aaron Rodgers, breaking the sack record on them, that they ended up losing the game they should have won. It was blatantly obvious to the T that that's all they cared about. Now you're finna take this chance to go play the Ravens, and you possibly gonna lose this game because you was worried about that instead of handling business to Cleveland. And what was the other thing I wanted to talk about that I learned? Oh, well, I'm gonna say it in the real takeover reaction because I didn't want to say the second thing that was on our list. But yeah, the Buffalo, I don't believe in Buffalo at all. It's fool's gold with me with them. I don't believe in Buffalo. If they don't run the ball well, Sean, it's over with. And this is the 1 year they have a legit chance to win. And their kryptonite, like their LeBron James of their Toronto Raptors, is not in their way. And they're not gonna make it. I got them getting smacked. But we also got Monday night preview because this game does count tonight. I got the Rams, you got the Falcons. What's your preview for tonight's game?
Obviously, quite a few injuries for the Rams. No Devontae Adams, no Alaric Jackson, their left tackle. So if I think obviously the Falcons have an incentive to win for a couple reasons. One, because they want to keep winning, but two, the Rams own their first round pick in next year's draft, so they want to win, obviously, to make sure that pick is as low as possible before the Saints come into town on Sunday. So I think the Falcons are going to be fired up. Obviously, play on Monday Night Football. I did take the Falcons to win, but watch those young pass rushers for the Falcons to get after Stafford a little bit, and the matchup with Nikola and AJ Terrell will be on my radar.
All right, Sean. I got the Rams winning. I just think that this is a must win for them. So I see them. They could possibly make it happen. But yeah, we're gonna see tonight though. But I think the Rams should come in and take the Falcons lightly because they out the playoffs. Sometimes this team's favorite thing to do, you would think like, yeah, they out the playoffs. They ain't gonna want to come play. No, they'll come play and upset you. That's team's favorite thing to do. Now, Sean, real take or overreaction? It's time for everybody's favorite segment of the show. I talked about this team a second ago. I said I don't believe in them, and I'm gonna show you how much I don't believe in them. Real take or overreaction, and how the playoffs is set. I think they are locked. I think are the Bills locked at the 7th seed?
The Packers are locked as the 7th seed. The Bills are not.
Okay, so they can move up depending on how the losses go, but. Either one, Sean, because if they are the 7th seed, they'll play the Patriots. If they are the 6th seed, they might play the Jaguars. And either way it goes, Sean, I still feel the same way. Real take or overreaction. The Buffalo Bills will lose in the first round.
Real take. Real take.
Why you agree with that?
I don't think they scare you. Defensively, they played pretty well yesterday defensively, albeit the weather and things like that. I thought they did a decent job defensively in the second half. The Eagles play call, it also had something to do with that, but that's a different conversation. I don't think they scare you. When I look at that Bills team, there are 2 tight ends. Obviously, James Cook is the engine of that offense. For most people like to talk about Josh Allen. James Cook is the engine of that offense, and their slot receiver. They just don't really scare you outside. I know Brandon Cooks had 100 yards yesterday because Brandon Cook's going to have at least 100-yard game for any team he plays for. But I don't think they scare you offensively at all. And defensively, again, I know they stopped, did a good job stopping the run yesterday. They were committing 9 guys in the box in some cases yesterday. Again, part because they wanted to try to slow down the Eagles' run game. I don't think they'll be able to do that in the first round of the playoffs. They will lose in the first round of the playoffs. It is a real take for me.
Yeah, the reason I said is because I think if you stop James Cook in the run game, is you really threatening to worry about anybody else doing anything with the ball? No, I just don't think it. Okay, real take or overreaction with one game left for the season. I believe, and after I've seen what the BS the Steelers pulled, and I believe, even though their line is weaker, and I think he should get it and will get it, I hope he do. But Sean, sad to say, real take overreaction. Myles Garrett won't break the sack record.
Overreaction. I think he will break it this week. I think he'll get 1 sack this week. And
I hope he do.
Yeah, he'll get 1 sack this week.
Because the BS that the Steelers pulled, that's what they get for losing. That was atrocious, bro. It was like, I get it. Like, you don't want it's like, does it hurt y'all ego that bad that if he break the sack record on y'all? Like, they going home. You know, like, yeah, you got it, but real take overreaction. Drake May will win the NFL MVP.
Overreaction.
Ooh,
Overreaction.
Okay.
Overreaction. I think it's they're giving it to Matt Stafford. It's I don't want to compare it to a certain MVP. Matt Stafford had a great MVP year. and an MVP worthy year. However, this to me is we appreciate you MVP, and maybe you should have won it, a couple years, previously in your career, but now you're so late in your career. We want to go ahead and say thank you for everything you've done. So this will be the Matt Stafford thank you MVP.
This will be his first MVP?
Yes.
Okay. Dang, I thought Matt Stafford had one. That's crazy. Let me see. He had 65 completion rate, 4,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Drake May, which he definitely snapped at that last game too to throw 5. He definitely threw 5 on it on purpose. He had 71 completion rate, 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. I don't know, Sean. To get the Patriots where they at when nobody thought they was gonna be right there. Yeah, I think only way Matthew Stafford get is like that narrative that you said. If they do that,
yeah, and also keep in mind, Matt Stafford's never even made an All-Pro team.
What?
No, he's made 3 Pro Bowls, but he's never made an All-Pro team. He only made 1 Pro Bowl in Detroit.
Dang, he didn't get him. Oh. It must have been that 1 year with the Rams. Then
he got two Pro Bowls with the Rams. But he's never made an All-Pro team. So he'll make the All-Pro team this year, I would think.
I would hope so.
Yeah, but yeah, so this is it's going to be a lot of, we thank you and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That's what this really is about, which is when people question Matt Stafford's, Hall of Fame chances. That's the one thing a lot of people will point to is that he's never made an All-Pro team. Again, he'll make it this year, but he's never made an All-Pro team, never been an All-Pro.
Oh, that's tough. Real take an overreaction. The loser of the Ravens versus Steelers game will have a new coach next season.
I'm going to say this is a real take with an asterisk.
Okay.
Because if the Ravens lose this game, they will have a new coach next season.
I think the Ravens, I think the Ravens are going to have a new coach regardless because they're going to lose in the playoffs. So it's that time for the Ravens. And the Steelers, it's that time too. It's that time. I think this is a real take with a double down. I just take out the loser part. Both teams will have a new coach next season, no matter which way it go at all. But it's time for the next favorite show, part of the show.
SB and Sean NFL picks of the week.
SB and Sean NFL picks of the week. How did it go this week, Sean?
This week, SB, we did not pick the Thursday games, obviously. So starting with the Saturday games, Houston Texans at the Chargers. I took the Texans. You took the Chargers. Texans did win that game. Baltimore at Green Bay. You took the Ravens. I took the Packers. Baltimore did win that game. Arizona at Cincinnati. We both took Cincinnati. Cincinnati did win that game. Pittsburgh at Cleveland, we both took the Steelers. Browns pulled that game out. New Orleans at Tennessee, we both took the Saints. Saints did pull that game out. Jacksonville at Indianapolis, we both took the Jaguars. Jaguars pulled that game out. Tampa Bay at Miami, we both took Tampa Bay. Miami won that one. New England at the Jets, it was never a game. We both took the Patriots. Patriots obviously manhandled them.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle at Carolina. You took Seattle. I took the Panthers. Seattle did win that game. Giants at Raiders. You took the Giants. I took the Raiders. Giants obviously won that one. Philadelphia at Buffalo. We both took the Eagles. Eagles won that game. Chicago at San Francisco. You took the Bears. I took the Niners. Niners won that one. So tonight's game, Rams at Falcons. You took the Rams. I took the Falcons. If the Rams win tonight, you obviously win this week. If the Falcons win, we tie this week.
Okay. And also, I want to say, I just catch my phone. Shout out Cisco in the chat. If you don't know, shout out Cisco. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, your 49ers got a little lucky. Shouldn't beat the Bears, by the way. I think Cisco like the 49ers, I believe. Yeah, your Niners got lucky. Yeah, they got lucky. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Been another great episode of Real Take So Face Base with SB and Sean Webb, and we will see you guys. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say just real quick. I know we're going to not see everybody, but I know the New Year's coming. please have a happy and safe New Year's. Whatever you have planned, please be safe out there. And we look forward to seeing y'all in 2026.
See y'all in 2026. Peace out.
Real takes over fake debates.